Welcome to Python Superclass. In this particular lecture, we will talk about selection statements. So till now, whatever we have discussed is or comes under the sequential construct. Because what was happening, we were writing some code, and every piece of code was getting executed in a sequential fashion. Okay, so this is now let's talk about the selection statements. So let me tell you how selection statement paradigm works. So selection statement means we are selecting a set of statements to get executed based on some condition. For example, I may check like if it is going to rain, then I'm going to go for play or go to play. Otherwise, I'm not going to go to the playground. Yeah. So that is the simplest example. So how does it work? It works, I mean, it checks for a particular condition. If that condition gets satisfied, I may or may not execute another set of conditions. Okay. If the condition is satisfied, then what I can do, I may execute some set of statements. Also, if the condition gets false, I may execute another pair of statements. Okay, so that is how the conditional construct, or I should say the selection construct works. So let's see this in an example. Uh, so I have created a file called as selection.py, and let's consider a very simple example. Let's suppose I have got two numbers a and b, and for the simplicity, what I am doing, I am just assuming that these two values will always be different. Okay, so and I want to check if or which of the two numbers is greater. So that is a very simple scenario, and let's see how we can implement this in Python. Okay, so I have created a variable called as a and assign a value 2 to it. Okay, similarly I have created another variable, let's say b, and I have assigned a value 3 to it. Okay, now what I need to check, I need to check if a is greater than b. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll check if a is greater than b, and then I'm going to start the block, and I'm going to print a simple statement that a is greater. Okay, else, since for this example I am not considering the equality to exist, so what I am doing, I am just saying print e is greater. So this is how the code is there. So what is going to happen? It will check if a is greater than b. If this condition is satisfied, it will move to this particular part. Otherwise, it is going to move to the second print statement. So let me just execute this code. And let's, if you see here, it is giving b is greater. Why? Because 2 is greater than 3. No, the condition is doesn't satisfy, so it moves to the else part, or the sorry, false part, and it is going to print b is greater. Okay, now let's bring the situation where a and b can also be equal. Okay, so now let's make it more realistic. So what I can do, I am going to check our the first condition would be the same, like if a is greater than b, I need to say a is greater. Okay, now otherwise what I need to do, I need to check if b is or a is greater than or a is equals to b. So a equals to b, that is what I am checking. And what I'll say print b is greater. Okay, So B is greater. Otherwise, if A is neither equal greater than B nor A is equals to B, then what I need to do? I need to check, or I need to say that B is greater, because A is neither greater nor is equals to B, so B is greater, okay, or A is lesser. So here I should say A and B are equal. Sorry. So A is equal to B. Okay. Now let's execute this code. So for the first condition, is 2 greater than 3? No, the condition gets false, and it will move to this if statement, and this if statement is going to test if 2 is equals to 3. Again, this condition gets false, and it will move to the else part, and it is going to print B is greater. So let me just execute this, and it is saying B is greater. Now let's change the value of A to 3, and let's run it manually. So is 3 greater than 3? No, the condition is false, so it will move to the else part, and here it is going to say if A is equals to B. Yes, the condition is satisfied, and hence it is going to print A is equals to B. Okay, so it won't go to the else part. So let me execute this, and here it is saying A is equals to B. Now let's change this to A equals to 4, and let's execute this code again. So 4 is greater than 3, A is greater, no need to go into the else part, and this is going to run perfectly fine, and it is going to print A is greater. Okay. Now if you look here, that it involves some sort of nesting, because what is happening, it is first checking if A is greater than B. If it is not there, then it is checking if A is equals to B. So this if comes under this else. Okay, so this if is nested within this else. So this is an example of nested if, or nested if part. But in Python, generally nesting within else is not done, or there is an easier way to write this code. So what I'll do, I'll remove the unnecessary nesting, or I can remove this unnecessary nesting with a new construct, which is elif. So elif stands for else if. So instead of writing else and then if, what I can do, I can simply replace the code with elif. So I'll have to make the changes in the indentation levels accordingly, or else it is going to throw an error that we have seen in the indentation lecture already. So yeah, now let's check this code. A is equals to 4, B is equals to 3, A is greater than B. Yes, it is greater, so it is going to print A is greater than B. Now the other example is like A is greater, let's put A equals to 3, and let's re-execute this code. So A is greater than B? No, it is going to check elif is A greater, or is A equals to B. So it is going to say yes, A is equals to B, and the code is going to stop here. Similarly, if I just say A equals to 2, B equals to 3, then what I'll do, I'll re-execute this code, and now what it is doing, it is checking if A or 2 is greater than 3. No, so it is moving to the second or the else part, and in this else part it is checking if 2 and 3 are equal. Again, this is not true, so it will move to the else part, and it is going to print B is greater. Okay, so till now what we have seen first if part, if simple if else, second nested ifs, or yes, a bit of nesting, and we have also seen the if elif chain. Okay, so that these three things we have already seen. Now, if you are familiar with some of the other languages like C++, C or Java, in that particular languages you must have seen a tertiary operator. So those who don't know the tertiary operator, let me just give an example to them. Uh, Tertiary operator is like condition is there, and that condition is followed by the true part. Then that true part is followed by a colon, and after colon we write false statement. So here what is happening? It is doing condition. It first checks the condition. If the condition is true, it moves to the true part, else it is moving to the false part. In Python there is no such way. Okay, so but there is a separate workaround for this. So let's do this. What I need to do, I'll type print a is greater, okay, if a is greater than b, else print b is greater. So since it is a complex operator or complex expression, I should say, okay, so it is not a statement. Why I'm saying it is not a statement, I'll come to that. I'll revisit this part once I'll talk about the control statements, where I'll talk about break, pass, and continue. So I'll revisit this. But for now, you just understand that this is an expression. It is neither an operator nor a statement. Okay, why I am saying this, I'll tell you once we'll cover the past thing. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is going to print a is greater than or print a is greater only if a it finds a is greater than b, or it is going to print b is greater. So let me just execute this code and see. So here it is printing b is greater because a is equals to 2, b is equals to 3, and it is going to say a is so a is not greater than b. So this condition gets false and it moves to the else part. Okay. Now let's change the condition, or let's change the value of a to 4 and re-execute this code. So now it is printing a is greater. In general programming, we usually don't use this sort of conditional expressions. But yes, we do use a similar sort of statements, and we will cover that when we will understand list comprehensions and dictionary comprehensions. But for the selection statements, we generally stick to our earlier code, which I have shown you earlier in this lecture. Okay, so that's it for this lecture. See you in the next one. Thank you.